Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? Good? I hope everybody's having a great week. I know it's only Tuesday, but that just means you've only had one day to make things pretty freaking amazing or to screw things up completely. And today's a new start. So today's a new day. One thing I mentioned on the meeting this morning, I wanted to dive into and develop a little bit more with you guys just to think about. Mike Wile with Coast to Coast Lending will be in. We're going to talk about appraisals. So we'll start that basically 9:30. So he'll be in here shortly. If you're not in this morning, you're missing breakfast. We have delicious breakfast that Mike provided. So that'll be our discussions today. So it takes 25 to 30 days to form a new neural pathway. Who knows what a neural pathway is? Neural pathway, from your brain to your body, from your thoughts to your body, your brain, your neurons to your body, actions, energy, intentions to create a new neural pathway. And I'll prove it to you. NASA, I'm not a rocket scientist, NASA is, but NASA did some studies and they took these astronauts up in space, just said, there you go. And they put concave goggles on them. Concave goggles that flip their viewing screen upside down. So their eyes would see things upside down. Imagine that. Imagine being stuck in space, floating all over the place. Every time you go to reach right to grab what you see is on your right is actually on your left, and you have to retrain yourself to go up. Up is down, down is up, right is left, left is right. That's what they did. They took these concave goggles and they put them on them. And what they found is within 25 to 30 days, every single one of the astronauts' brains flipped the image and actually made it so even though they were seeing a concave image, it flipped it around and made it right side so that it was easier for them to use their neural pathway to grab and use their right hand to grab the thing on the right or the left, vice versa. So it takes 5 to 30 days to form a new neural pathway. But then the other part of this study shows that they took another subset of after 15 days, took the glasses off and had them off for a day and then put them back on to see if by 25 or 30 days, their brain did the same thing. It did not. When they took the goggles off at day 15 for a day and put them back on, it took another full 25 to 30 days for their brain to flip that image back around, but it did happen again. Your brain, within 25 to 30 days, realizes things, sees things, and says, okay, this isn't going to change. We have to change. This isn't going to get any better. We have to get better. I have to make this easier for me because right now this is not easy. I see left, I reach right. I'm not getting what I want. We have to change that. So those neural pathways in your brain take 25 to 30 days to form. It's the same with simple things like consistency. It's the same with getting out and doing something. If you commit to doing something for 30 days, put it on a schedule, say I'm going to do it this day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day, and I'm going to do that, your brain will start to create a new neural pathway and basically a roadmap towards doing those things every single day that you said you're going to do it because it creates a new consistent habit, but you have to do it every day for 30 days. So just think about that. Anytime you want to make a change, anytime you want to do something differently, you've got to do something consistently every single day for 25, 30 days to create a new neural pathway, to create a new habit. That's why for those of you who are doing a 30, 60, 90 day trial, that 30, 60, 90 day challenge that I was doing, 30 days of doing something. And then at 30 days, we up it a little bit. At 60 days, we up it a little bit again. So that by worst case scenario, at the end of 90 days of doing 30 days of working out, drinking water, following a diet, doing all these things, getting more intense for day 30 to 60, getting more intense from day 60 to 90, you're creating new neural pathways. And the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fall back to the way you were after the first 30 days. Because your brain is already so used to doing those things and wanting to do those things and making that more a part of you, it's harder to go back to the way that you were before you started a challenge than it is to go back to the way you were after 30 days. Make a habit, create a new habit. Let's do it for 30 days. And that's going to help you get your consistent outcomes and results that you want. First quarter, let's go in here. Share screen, jump and get out of there. All right, so let's talk about a few things, and then when Mike comes in, we will jump into our appraisals talk. So Food Truck Friday, this coming Friday, we are trying to do something new inside the office with the bank in this area in the community. We're just trying to bring a little bit of something different into the community. How many choices do we have for places to have lunch around here? It's the same thing over and over again, right? Yeah, there's not a lot. It's not a lot of the, it's a lot of the same old, same old. So we have food trucks coming in this Friday, March 5th from 11 to 2. We're going to have 2 food trucks, Lego My Egg Roll and a barbecue time food truck. That's going to come in. It's going to be in the parking lot here. It's outside. You can socially distant, so you can stay socially distant from other people. This is a flyer. It's in your email. Jimmy sent it out to you last night. It's been out a couple times. So get into your email, print this flyer out. If you're going to do anything this week in your farm, go out and invite people out. Invite them to come and have lunch on Friday. Why don't you come and join me in my brokerage for lunch on Friday? Banco ZK will be there, and they'll have some offerings for you as well. So invite some people out. We're going to try and do this every first Friday of the month, the first Friday food truck, where we'll have 2 food trucks in the parking lot, a different opportunity for lunch. Our goal is to, so we're going to pay, that's a $500 minimum per truck. So they want at least $500 in orders. So our goal is to make sure that we at least meet that, so that we don't have to contribute as a company. So all we need is your contribution to eat lunch that day. Who's going to eat lunch? Okay, you're all going to eat lunch. Might as well show up here and do it here. If you have clients, bring them in for lunch that day. So we'll send that out again. We've got it posted to the Apollo Beach Facebook page as well, so you can share it directly from there or take it off of your email and share it into that. Continuing education, March 31st is the deadline. As you know, March 31st and September 30th are the 2 deadlines for continuing educations for your license. Make sure that if your deadline is March 31st, you pay to renew your license, you do your continuing education. If you just recently got your license in the last 2 years, make sure that you are doing your post-licensing 45-hour course. So March 31st is that deadline. Floor duty now, from now moving forward, we've been very lenient with the floor duty policy. If you sign up for floor, you didn't have to be here. We will call you, let you know there's a lead opportunity, somebody's here, but we want you to be available. That's changing now. We're having way too much of the people signing up for floor not being available, not answering the phone, or not being able to come and handle a walk-in that day. So no more. You sign up for floor, you have to be here. 8:30 till 1 and 1 to 5:30. That's just the rule. You have to do it. If you're not going to be here, if you miss one floor duty date, we're taking you off the rest of your floor duty for the rest of the month. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be strict with this, but we've had way too many people blowing it off and just saying, I'm going to schedule an inspection the same day I did floor. I'm sorry, you signed up for floor. You signed for do an inspection, get someone to cover your floor duty. But if you cancel a floor duty, we understand it happens, so we'll provide a little bit of leniency. But the first time, we'll give you some leniency. The second time, we're removing you from the rest of the floor dates for that month. That's just what we have to do, because we have too many consumers that are that are having to wait, even if it's only a couple extra minutes. That's not good. Speed to lead is what we're really after, making sure the consumer gets the best experience while they're working with us. This Thursday at 1 o'clock, another Apollo Beach farming class. Just again, reiterating consistency, doing something for 30 days. It's been 30 days that everybody's been doing this. Most people that are doing it are having good conversations, getting some decent results. We don't have any actual listings, but we have some very good progress, and we actually have some very good conversations with people now that we've been doing it for 30 days. They're getting a mailer, they're getting a door knock, they're getting a CMA, they're getting a phone call, they're getting an email. We have a better opportunity to do business with some of these people than anything else. So if you have buyers looking in any specific neighborhood, let me know. If you're not going to go knock on doors in that neighborhood, we have agents that are already talking to people in those neighborhoods, and they might already have some conversations that will be, hey, I've got this person, they've talked about that, this might be a good fit for us. Let's go. So for those of you that are following what's going on in the market, we keep talking about there's nothing on the market, nothing on the market, nothing on the market. Well, let's just give you some real life examples of what's going on in this market from a map perspective in Apollo Beach. If we pull up right here in Apollo Beach, there are no waterfront homes in Mirror Bay, none. There is 2 waterfront homes in Symphony Isles. There was 3. Congratulations, Ray, for selling that. There is no waterfront homes in Andalusia. There are 2 in Lake Sunrise. And all of these homes have been on the market for a little bit, which means one of a couple things. Sellers not motivated, or buyers aren't seeing the value. Okay. There's 1 over on the Palm Streets area, and there are none in Beach Club Estates except for 1 on Surfside. That's $8 million. So if you have a waterfront buyer, well, there's 1 down here at the end of the canal. If you have a waterfront buyer, guess what you need to be doing? You need to be going out and finding them houses like Jeff was talking about, going out, knocking on doors, finding them homes, finding them waterfront property. And believe me, when people are looking at these properties here, when you have a homeowner that's been there, how many people have been in their home here in Apollo Beach for quite some time? There's a lot of people that have been in their home in Apollo Beach for quite some time, and they have a realization of a massive amount of equity just recently. A year and a half ago, waterfront properties in Apollo Beach were not selling. You put a property on the market, it would sit for 7 months to 12 months, sometimes 15 months if it was over $1 million. Very slow activity. I remember talking to many people about their $800,000, $1 million, $1.2 million listing not selling. That's not the case right now. So we had a listing. I've mentioned this before. It went up at $950 about a year and 3 months ago. It didn't sell for 6 months. It came back on January 1st of this past year. It sold within 3 weeks, but they listed the price from $950 to $1.245, a 30% increase in value. How many people that own a waterfront home in Apollo Beach have seen a 30% increase in the value of their home and could be sitting there thinking, maybe we can sell our home, it's free and clear, and take $800,000 to $1 million and put it into that account, and we can go travel and live the rest of our retirement doing something they've always wanted. How many people can realize a goal or a dream of something that they've wanted to do because they have an additional $300,000 in their pockets or in their equity that they could get rid of, and you could help them do that? So that's something that we need to be considering, getting out and knocking on doors and letting people know. The people that are doing it are having great conversations, so it's something we want to do. Will you go check and see if Mike's ready to come in? Please. Thank you. So we covered that. If you have any new listings that you want to pitch, well, number one, if you have buyers looking for waterfront property in Mira Bay, there are some new listings that'll be coming up. There are Park Square homes that are closing this month, and they will become available to purchase. The individual bought them with the sole intention of buying it, closing on it, and reselling it because they got a very good deal. Park Square was building them for a very good price, and they have the ability to resell them right now. So if you're looking for waterfront properties, contact Kim Hodgkins or myself, and I'll get you in contact there. I'll show you what we have. We have some property, $750 to $800. Yes, we have. So these are the 2 that we have right at the moment. This is a 1-story, 3-car garage, 2,600 square foot, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3-car garage, dockable on the water, and it's going to be it's going to be around $760. And then there's another one that is going to be around $760 as well. It's going to be a 2-story, 3-car garage, 2,900 square foot, 4 bedroom, 3.5 baths. Okay. So these are 2 that are coming up available. That'll be brand new homes, never lived in, and you'll be buying them from an individual who's closing on them this month. All right. Mr. Wiles, how the heck are you? This might be easier. Let's do this. This one will probably be, that way you don't have to worry about that. It goes straight over, yep, straight over top of the head like that. Yep, over the, on top of the ears. Nope, that's the way it goes. Yep. There you go. See, and
okay, let's try it.
Go ahead and talk.
Go ahead.
Can you
hear me? Hello?
Yep, good.
All right, good. All right.
Sound check, please. If anybody just chat in, and we'll get started. So, Mike, what we're why don't you go ahead and do a brief introduction and remind everybody who you are, and we'll get going.
All right, so everybody. Oh, I got your food for you today, just for you, just for you. I'm Mike Wiles. I do the a loan officer. I have a branch here, basically, in the other office on the other side. If you haven't met yet, But I'm here to assist however I can. We did have a couple things that we were going to talk about. Good news is the real important stuff is food's on the way. So that's the only reason I'm here. I'm not gonna be able to say the name right, so it's the Cuban places down here.
Mi viejo.
If you want to hear me murder it, I'll do it for you. They should be here by 10. Hopefully they're on
No worries.
non-Cuban Miami time. So we'll see what happens. It might be 11. It might be brunch. Supper. But anyways, me and Chris were talking about a couple things, and I posed I was thinking about a topic, and I was posing a legitimate question. I don't want it to come off bad.
Not at all.
The question is why I hear all the time, and it's from my end. So the other side of it is people go out there looking for homes, and a lot of times we'll hear only accepting conventional offers. So as a real question, just as an education, will work in both ways. Every problem that I face, typically I want to solve it from both sides. So anytime I hear something, I want to know why that is, and then how do you solve it from there? So I did pose questions.
Why don't you give some feedback? Why is so perception is your power. It's either the power or your prison. It's going to give you the power to get out and do something that you want, make anything work, or it's going to be the prison that keeps you where you're at. So why is the perception that a VA loan is a worse loan for a borrower or for a seller to accept versus a conventional? Go ahead and spout them off. Raise your hand. So you had and I'm going to repeat for people online, a manufactured home on land that's being sold, and the seller had to expend some money to meet some requirements for tie downs and skirting. There's one. What else? VA appraisals can be critical and can come in lower. Okay, there's a perception. Well, there's a VA rider, and I'm going to just address it because we're right here. There's a VA rider that has a dollar amount already put into it for what the seller would have to obligate to. So a VA loan could ask for a seller to do some things that weren't already agreed to by the buyer and seller. That's one. What else? Good. There's another hand back here. Just so I don't come back up. No? Yeah, go ahead. More rigorous in their inspections and appraisals of the property. VA. We're going to focus on VA for today.
You could address that. I don't mind just a little bit. That's fine. If you're
there. Yeah. Okay. The Karma one. More collateral based, so there can't be major issues with the property. Okay, so those are all some perceptions, and Mike wanted to address as some of them in any way that he can to try and give you a different perception from his side. How many loans have you done? You may not know that. How many loans have you done this year so far, approximately?
Right now, we're probably 50, 60.
50 or 60. How many have you done in your career? Just thousands of loans in your career. So you've got quite a bit of experience with conventional loans, VA loans, FHA loans, all different kinds, right?
Right. We typically, in a typical year, we're going to do, 150, 200 loans. Out of that, 30% are VA, 30% conventional, and then we do USDA and FHA, all that.
Okay.
So it's all a pretty good mix. So I have experience on all of them. As far as appraisals, I've seen a few thousand. Okay. So, I've closed and done loans and seen thousands of credit reports, thousands of things, just a sheer volume of experience. Okay. And what I always say about it is this: there are things that what happens is like you go to someone's asking me about drinking. Okay, not to just get off subject, but whatever your worst drink is, someone asked me the other day, "What would you like White Russians?" And I have a horrible experience when I was like 21, 22. I drank a bunch of White Russian with a girl, and guess what? I got sick and I hate it. I never want to drink one because it was a bad experience, and that's been 23 years, 24 years now. So that sticks with you, right? A bad experience happened to you one time, and then I probably relayed that story a couple times, and other people don't like White Russians now because of it. Does it mean White Russians are bad? No. Probably a lot of someone here likes them. They're still good. They're probably still good at the time. I overindulged, and that's what happens. Okay? That's kind of the whole gamut of what we're talking about here. To be completely transparent on that subject, manufactured tie downs, it is a concern. Okay, that is a legitimate concern on any manufactured home, probably pre 2005, in that range. So if you're selling homes older than 2005, you're going to have some issues with any of them. Okay, it's not just that one, because what happens with a home after pre 2005? What do? If you get in the home for 5 years, well, I've been in the house 6 months. My wife wants to do stuff, so I mean, it's not like oh, I want to put this, I want to get an improvement here, I want to add to the back porch, I want to do. Anytime you make any changes, even on a conventional loan for manufactured, you have to get an engineer cert done. An engineer cert has to go out there and certify things are held down properly. Problem with homes over a certain age is that it becomes a safety issue at some point, especially in this area with with more wind, more hurricane problems. You're going to have tie down issues, so sometimes that'll get flagged. Have I had conventional require that they do tie downs? Yes. Okay, so don't eliminate. I do VA manufactured homes, so I've done tons of them. Okay, I always tell people when they're looking for them, now as a listing or selling, you don't have a choice, but you're selling, whatever. When they're looking for them, I try to go, you want homes after 2005, 2010, because the older the home gets, the more problems you're going to have, especially manufactured. You're going to run into life expectancy issues, so that's why that's the biggest issue. But you're right. If there are manufactured homes pre-2005, I would go conventional. That's a valid one. After that, I'm doing a ton of VA manufactured homes right now, especially out in Lakeland, that are going just fine. No money down. It depends on your market target audience. It's just like, what was the one you had on? More, you feel like they're more stringent. I'll give you a perfect example. I just closed a loan right now. It's closing. Guy was in our office. I met him here. It's a $450,000 loan. VA. Conventional came in 3 weeks ago, gave a $350,000 appraisal. VA came in, did a $450,000 appraisal.
What was the time difference?
2 weeks. So your relevance of experience is what everyone's experience are what they're been either exposed to, surrounded to, or told. I see on a larger scale of appraisals, that's not necessarily true. Okay, I can show hundreds of appraisals, thousands now, where that's not what happens. It may happen on a particular thing. I feel like they're more stringent. I've had a VA appraiser miss complete sections of the house. I've had VA appraisers miss that there was termites in the house. Luckily, the buyer was fully aware, and there was a discount all involved and all that stuff. But that all is things that do happen now.
Have you ever had an FHA appraiser show up and be gone in 5 minutes? Have you ever had an FHA appraiser show up and be there for 30 to 45 minutes? How long are they supposed to be there? About 30 minutes or so, because they have to check a bunch of things. They have to look on, they're supposed to run all the faucets. They're supposed to do a head and shoulders in the attic. They're supposed to measure the entire house. They're supposed to walk the perimeter. They're supposed to check the appliance. They're supposed to check. But we've all had the FHA appraiser pull up in a car, get out, open the door, walk through, make a few notes, go out here. Well, you got anything for me? All right, I'll see you. And they're out of there. And they didn't do everything they were supposed to do. So the experiences that we're going to see are going to be more conditioned on the appraiser rather than the actual type of loan. And that's the point that we're really trying to get across to you. Don't throw away a VA buyer just because they're 100% financing and they're never going to get something accepted. Why don't we take this opportunity to learn a little bit more, get with someone like Mike if he's going to do your loan, and have Mike work hand in hand with you, talk to the listing agent, say, this guy's this, and this. He's so solid, the VA is willing to give him an $800,000 loan without putting any money down. Tell me how solid you have to be for that. Your home is built in 2015. Why would there be any issues with a VA loan? My experience is da, 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 da. So that's kind of the perspective we're wanting you to just see. Let's not put this stigma on a VA loan so much anymore. And we have to be the educating factors here to try and change a little bit of this perception.
Good. It's not true. We're all required to actually legally required to use a panel of appraisers on all loans. You're legally required to use an independent panel that you have no communication with. If you have a lender that says, I use only my guy, that is not correct or illegal. One of the two.
No.
It's just like it's just the same thing as like when you go to the car lot and said they're holding the car for just you.
Yeah.
It's a gimmick. It's not necessarily true.
It's an appraisal management company. The lender places an order, goes to an appraisal management company. He's got a pool of appraisers. Appraisers, nearly all of them should be able to do conventional FHA or VA, but depending on their experience level, they may not. So if you have a VA or an FHA, they need to have an appraiser that can do an appraisal that will be certified for FHA or VA. Or if it's a conventional that needs to be recertified, it can be done. Yeah, that's.
And that could happen on a one-off. I mean, the more remote you are, it does get more difficult. Like in Colorado, you got one guy that covers a whole county, you know. And like I said, I cover more than just Florida. I cover like 9-10 states. So there are issues in that. But if you're doing mostly even that's not that more rural anymore because everybody's spreading out. Florida does not have an appraisal issue. We got appraisers. Ton of them, and they get busy.
Well, Zillow has nothing to do with the appraiser, but that's exactly. That has nothing to do with the appraiser. There's those things that they don't. There's no correlation between the two.
I just don't want you to eliminate a prospective buyer because of that. Because if you're doing, I understand in this market right now things are selling like hotcakes. I get it, okay, and we can live in that world while it exists. But anybody that's been in this business long enough knows that that world will go away. It will. Like they're going to open up all these states, and some of these people are going to come down to Florida, realize it's hot, and go back to where they came from. So, I mean, that's realistic of what's going to happen.
It's this new thing that Florida's been doing.
Florida's been doing that for a long time. People have been moving here and moving back for a long time.
Yeah.
It is market driven, COVID driven. There is now some won't. I mean, some are going to stay here. That's not going to change, but there will be a little lessening at some point. I just don't want us to be at the point where we're turning down prospective buyers because of perceived. If you are selling a home that has very, I mean, even on conventional, I hear this all the time. Oh, it's conventional. We can sell it as is. True. To someone who has enough cash that won't matter because the bank's not going to lend to Joe homeowner that has 5% down on a house that needs a bunch of work. They're not going to. The underwriter will catch that. Okay. I've had more. VA is just like the VA. The only thing he's going to check for, here's the only thing VA is strict about: wood rot and termites. And if you're selling, if you've had working appliances,
well, hang on a second. Slow down. We're not. This isn't supposed to be combative like that. Well, I've had this. Sorry. So let's just slow down on this one. VA has some minimum requirements, and it's called MPRs, minimum property requirements, that are an overlay. It's not specifically this. It's up to the independent appraiser to make a justified decision on what he feels is right for the lender and safe and habitable for the borrower. That's the overlay. That's it. There is no age expectancy on a roof with VA. FHA has minimum 3 years. There is nothing for VA. It has to be a safe, habitable home. So obviously, if he sees wood-destroying organisms, fungus, leaks, a skylight that's not really a skylight because it's not supposed to be there, That's going to be a problem, but it'd be a problem for a conventional loan as well. So minimum property requirements is a basic overlay that the appraiser interprets to, this is a habitable home for this borrower, when the lender should be able to lend on it. But those are similar in a lot of different loans. If you're doing a 3% down conventional loan, they're going to have the similar kind of overlays there because it's a conventional loan, but this is a first-time home buyer that they want to have a safe, habitable home that they can do a loan on, and his borrower isn't going to have to put a ton of money in the foreseeable future.
It is more perception because honestly, when they go out there and you see something that is damaged and you notice it, they're probably going to notice it no matter who goes out there. Because as an appraiser, especially one who's been doing this a while, they can get flagged for not catching stuff. They can have stuff go against their license. There's all kinds of things that can happen to them. And it doesn't matter what loan you do, that can still happen. If you know something, VA, conventional, whatever it is, if there's a known problem, why not just escrow for it? Like if it's not if it's less than $10,000, we'll just escrow for it. We can make a sales concession. Your buyer doesn't have any money, they're maxed out. Or they can't do this. We can concession fix the problem with a contractor. It's cheaper than doing any other sort of solution. But you're really, truly not going to run into a situation where VA appraiser came out there and he was drilling in the wood and found something. No, he's going to walk up there and it's obvious he's going to catch it. If you saw it, he's going to see it. Because these guys are usually more certified in the field. That's the only thing different. But if your buyer is, I don't know how to say that. I don't want to be, but I would feel that your home at least should be livable to the point that they could move in and be safe. That's it. And if that's the case, you're fine. These are really all they ask. And what you said about appliances, that has changed. If an appliance is there, it needs to work. If it's not there, that's fine. Okay? So if you have a broken down oven, well, get rid of it. I don't know why we're keeping it anyways. Put it on the streets. I'm going to grab it. That's all. If something's broken, don't leave it.
Or don't put a sign on it that says the dishwasher doesn't work.
Right, those type things. Go ahead. Here's what I tell people. People ask, do you do rehab loans and this, that, and the other? Yes, technically, yes. Here's why I don't like doing that. Because your buyer, or they're going to have to get a GC involved, who then is going to have a subcontractor, who's then going to have another subcontractor come out there and do the work, and everybody's going to get beep, 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 beep all the way down. So it's going to be 3 times as much for the same thing. I always tell people, look, if it is a repair that is minimal, less than $10,000, you can escrow for it. I hate these cabinets, or my cabinets, I hate this floor. The roof, we do roofs. Even if it's fit, we've done roofs for more. You can do a roof up to, I think, 15, something like that, something reasonable for the area. You can escrow for it, and it just has to be done. There's 2 ways to do that. I did this on my brother's house. I did it where we had a contractor that would do the roof and get paid at closing. Got to final approval, did the roof, did that. Had one where we had to do it after. Money gets escrowed at title. They get paid when the work's done, when they clear the city permits. Okay, that is the best way to get it done without doing a rehab loan, because the rehab loans are great in some scenarios, very few. But what happens is they pay a lot more, it takes a lot longer, and they pay a higher interest rate. They're going to pay almost a point higher for a rehab loan. And in this market, that's going to be very cost sensitive, and the buyer's usually at the max anyways when they did buy those homes.
And what else are we running into now? Contractor availability. If you're trying if you're trying to get a contractor to do something in 30 to 60 days, it's going to be really, really difficult.
Third level contractor, you could
and he's going to charge you more for it too, because he's going to drop other things to do yours. If you can get a contractor.
Hey, I got a whole crew that's sitting around ready to go.
Just real quick, hang on 1 second. So there's less than a minute online. So once this ends, guys, we'll be signing off. But for those of you in the room, we'll stick around and do Q&A. But the point being, change your perception on this. We understand that there is a perception outside within the business. So let's try to change the perception a little bit. A VA borrower is getting unlimited